My name is Captain Elias Rourke. Retired soldier. Ex-engineer. A man who thought he'd left the wars behind. When I left the Earth Defense Forces, I swore I'd never get dragged back into interstellar conflict again. Too many scars, too many ghosts. I bought a small home on the rim world of Tarsus 4, a quiet planet with endless valleys and pale lavender skies. A place where no one cared who you'd killed or who you'd failed to save. But the war had a way of finding me, even in exile. One evening, as the twin suns set behind the violet hills, I noticed something wrong. My dog, Fenrir, wouldn't stop barking at the tree line. At first, I thought it was another wild stock beast, but when I looked closer, I saw movement, something tall, graceful, cloaked in black. I went for my rifle out of instinct. Old habits never die. The figure stepped into the clearing, and for the first time I saw her face. She wasn't human. Her skin shimmered faintly like liquid silver under the fading light. Her eyes sharp and predatory, glowing with a faint crimson hue. Her movements were silent, too precise to be anything but military. And then I noticed the weapon in her hand, an energy blade, humming low, angled right at me. That's when I knew. She wasn't just any alien. She was an assassin. And I was her target. Middle. I expected her to strike instantly, but she didn't. She stood there, frozen, blade raised. Her eyes locked with mine as if studying me, memorizing every detail. Elias Rourke, she said, her voice smooth, carrying the faintest trace of an accent I didn't recognize. You're supposed to be dead. Funny, I muttered, keeping my rifle ready. I was about to say the same about you. Her grip tightened on the blade. My heart raced, waiting for the inevitable attack. But instead of lunging, she lowered the weapon ever so slightly. Confusion flickered across her features, quickly replaced by something else, hesitation. Why don't you do it? Asked my voice steady. Pull the trigger. Finish the job. Her jaw clenched. For a long moment, the only sound was the hum of her blade and Fenrir's low growl. Finally she spoke. I can't. That answer shook me more than the weapon pointed at my chest. She couldn't kill me. But why? Over the next few days, I found myself caught in a strange dance with her. She followed me everywhere, always watching. I tried to shake her, even confronted her more than once, but she never left. Her name, I learned eventually, was Selvara. She was from a species known as the Critheri, feared across the galaxy for their assassins. Silent, merciless, precise. Entire governments had fallen because of Critheri blades. And yet this one couldn't kill me. When I pressed her, she finally admitted the truth. You were marked by my order, she said one night as we sat by the fire in my cabin. Her crimson eyes reflected the flames, unreadable. Your name was etched into the blacklist. I was chosen to end you. And? I asked, narrowing my eyes. And when I saw you, I remembered. Remembered what? Her gaze softened in a way I didn't think possible for someone like her. You spared me once. Long ago. During the war. You don't remember, but I do. Froze. My memories of the war were blurred, fragmented by years of blood and chaos. But her words stirred something faint, something buried. She told me the story. Years ago, on the battlefield of Arcani's prime, she had been a young recruit, injured, bleeding, trapped under rubble. I had been leading a squad of engineers repairing a collapsed bunker. Instead of killing her, instead of leaving her to die, I had dragged her out and set her free. I didn't remember it. But she did. And that memory bound her blade. I cannot kill the one who saved me, she whispered. But sparing me put her in danger. The Critheri never forgave failure. If they discovered she had refused the kill, they would hunt her down. And soon enough they did. One night, alarms blared across my homestead. Dark ships descended from the sky. Sleek, silent, black as obsidian. Dozens of assassins disembarked, their eyes glowing like hers, their blades humming in unison. They hadn't just come for me. They'd come for her. Selvara stood at my side, blades drawn. "They will kill us both," she said calmly, as though it was inevitable. "Not if we fight," I answered, loading my rifle. Her crimson eyes flickered with something like surprise. "You would fight for me?" I smirked grimly. "Guess we're even." The battle was brutal. The Krithari moved like shadows, faster than I could track, their blades sparking against steel and stone. Selvara fought with a ferocity I had never seen, cutting down her own kind. Her movements a blur of silver and blood. And I, old soldier that I was, found myself fighting alongside her, covering her blind spots, using traps and old military tricks to thin their numbers. Hours felt like minutes. My homestead burned, my blood ran hot, and still they came. At last, only one remained, their commander. Taller, stronger, more terrifying than the rest. He struck Selvara down with a single blow, sending her crashing to the ground. Before he could finish her, I fired my last charge, hitting him square in the chest. He staggered, then fell. The silence after was deafening. Selvara lay bleeding, her silver skin dimming, her breaths shallow. I dropped to my knees beside her. "You saved me again," she whispered weakly, her hand brushing mine. "Stay with me," I said, my throat tight. "Don't you dare leave now." Ending. I managed to keep her alive, patching her wounds with every ounce of medical knowledge I still remembered. Days passed, and slowly she recovered. But the price of survival was steep. My home was gone. The Krithari would never stop hunting us. "You can leave," I told her once she regained her strength. "Go into hiding. They're after you, not me." She shook her head, her crimson eyes burning with quiet resolve. "No, Elias. They're after us now. I chose mercy because of you. And I would choose it again." For the first time I saw not just the assassin but the woman beneath. A woman who had lived her life bound by orders, now free because of a single act of compassion years ago. And because of her choice, my life would never be the same. We rebuilt together, wandering from world to world, fugitives to some, legends to others. Wherever we went, whispers followed. Of the alien assassin who refused to kill her mark, and the human who fought beside her. I had once thought I'd buried my past, that nothing good could come from war. But Selvara proved me wrong. Sometimes the smallest choice, one act of mercy, can echo across a lifetime. And sometimes the deadliest blade in the galaxy chooses not to strike. 'Cause against all odds, she chose me.